If everybody could get a seat, we will get started. You know, I kind of wanted to go home and get a fire going and a movie on, and so I really appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much. Because you're not watching a movie at the fireplace tonight, so. You're watching a movie, there you go. Okay. I apologize, we're ringing here. Is it okay? Does this sound okay? Well, I just want to welcome you all here. We want to thank you so much for being here tonight. A very special thanks to Aspen Park Hardware. They are our community supporter for this evening. So they just help defray some of the costs that are involved in putting on the town hall meetings and different things. Also like to thank Conifer Jazzercise. There's water in the back that they provide for you all, so please, partake. There's cookies and everything back there. Sharon Trook of My Mountain Town also always, videotapes, and then we have the videotapes of these meetings are on My Mountain Town. So we thank her each time too. So most of you have probably been here before, but our speakers have all been asked to present just the facts, no opinions, and all of that. We're going to have to figure this one out, I think. Yeah, there's another mic out there. We'll figure that one out. So anyway, we will have all the presentations without any comments or questions at all during the presentations. So sorry. But at about 8 o'clock, we will have a chance to talk to all of the presenters, and you can ask all the questions, talk to them at that time. So what is going on around here? There is so much all the time. First of all, we're going to have Melanie, the director of the Conifer Area Chamber, talk about what's going on there.
Thank you very much. I'm going to step over here to see if that helps with the echoing. I'm not sure if it will or not, but thank you for coming out tonight. We do have a lot going on with the chamber and in the community, and I'm going to keep moving because I keep hearing it ring. Right now, we've got 3 big events over the next 3 weeks. So this weekend, we have our Festival of Trees event, which is over at Evergreen Marshall Barn. It is sponsored by Conifer Gutter and Best Awning. So Saturday afternoon, we will have an open to the public tree viewing, and Santa will be out there for pictures with Santa. And then evening, we have the evening gala, where the trees will be auctioned off and a number of other holiday wreaths, decorations, tabletop trees, all kinds of things. We have over 7 food vendors that will be attending, so the food's going to be fantastic. Tickets are $20, and you can get those online until Friday or at the event on Saturday. And then, of course, Small Business Saturday is the day after the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we will be out and about shopping small with our local businesses. So please, if you're out and about, take pictures and just let the people know that you're there to support them on Small Business Saturday. Is there a way to turn the volume down?
It's not open. If anybody can find the custodian, that would be great.
Or just break in. No, I'm just kidding. The police is here. Don't do that. And so then after Small Business Saturday, we have the Conifer Christmas Parade on December 7th. So we will be right on Sutton Road. We have Remax Alliance is sponsoring that event. We have about 30 parade entries that will be included. We have a tent with vendor booths that will be set up so you can do some holiday shopping. And we are looking for more parade entries. So if you have organizations that you know of that might be interested, please have them reach out to the chamber. And the information is on our website. They can fill that out and we can get them in there because we would love that community event to grow and just be able to support the local organizations that we have. And then, of course, the goal of the chamber, we're a 3C chamber, so we are a business catalyst, a convener of leaders and influencers, and a champion for our community. So all those events, a number of education opportunities that we promote and will put on are all to help our businesses grow in our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Melanie. Is this working a little bit better?
Yes.
Okay. Peter, you're amazing. Thank you. Okay. So CDOT is not able to come tonight, but they wanted to let you know, all of you know, that there is really nothing new since the last time. They will definitely be here again in February and be talking about everything going on with Highway 285. Next we have Sam with the Conifer Library. Sam.
Hi guys. So if you've been to the library since the last time we were here, you may have noticed our exciting new drive-through drop box. If the stairs leading into the Conifer Library are the bane of your existence, as they are mine, you don't have to climb them anymore if you're just bringing things back. You don't even have to get out of your car. We're very happy about that. So we have had some concerns while we're getting the routine settled with it, but they check it, they empty the box out and bring everything to us once a day, and we backdate everything we check in. So even if, the library's closed for a day and we don't empty it out, you're not still accumulating late fines while things are sitting in there. So, and if you ever get anything on there, you can always let us know and we'll fix it. But that actually brings me to the other big piece of library news, which is that in 2020, we are going fine-free. So, no more late fines. If you keep something for months and we bill you for replacement, that will still show up as a fine, but if you're a week late, doesn't matter, we won't be paying. A lot of research has actually shown that late fees in libraries turn more people off and just kind of scare people away from us more than they really help us financially. A lot of people who are put off by the prospect of late fines are the people who can benefit from the library the most. So they've done the research, they've made sure that this is going to be something we can afford to do and continue doing, and everything checks out. So as of 2020, goodbye late fines. So happy holidays. I think that's about everything I've got, so thank you.
Great news, thank you, Sam. Okay, next we have Scott with Jeffco Heat. And Dell's going to be following him up, so don't think of anything about that. He's just getting his flash drive going. So here you go, Scott.
Thank you, Shirley. Flashbacks of the old days there. First of all, I would like to thank Shirley for all she's done here. She's been awesome here for many, many years. My name is Scott Halliday. I've been up here in the Evergreen Conifer area for about 30 years. I was a wildland firefighter for almost 18 years. Back in 2000, when we had the Snaking and Schoonover fire, as a concerned citizen, I called the Sheriff's Department, and they're still following me around here, and asked them if they needed any help moving the livestock. It's a big consideration for a lot of us, not just the livestock, but how many folks have pets in here? A bunch of us. A lot of times folks try to get back up from working down in town, and basically they hamper the efforts of the firefighters, of the police department, and those of us who are trying to get the animals to safety. When we first started this, it was pretty ragged, and we've come a long ways. We work directly for the Sheriff's Department when we're doing this for the Animal Control Division. We are dispatched. There are 3 teams of large animal haulers. All of the documentation, where we're picking up the animals from, it's all written down. Surprise this year, everything's going electronic, so we've got a learning curve there. But if you guys are down in town, or you're not at home, and you get the reverse 911, the best thing for you to do is call 911 or animal control. Let them know your address, how many animals you have, and if there's a key somewhere that folks can access the house. We don't need to. We take care of the horses, llamas, goats, emus, no buffalo. That's a little bit out of our league. But we do again, document all of the animals that are taken, where they're taken from. They get rump tags. They're taken down to the fairgrounds. They are fed grass hay. There's been rumors that they get fed all kinds of crazy stuff. Grass hay and water is all they get. When we first started, we were having problems with the animals going down into elevation. They got chlorine in the water down there, right? We don't have it up here. So one of the things that we had to do early on was put Gatorade into the tank so that the animals, it would cover the water smell plus the sweetness, got it to drink. It wasn't a bunch of Gatorade. I got to ring back. But anyways, we are a nonprofit 501c3. We do have a website, jeffco.org. I've got a couple young ladies that do the Facebook. I don't touch it myself. But you're welcome to learn a little bit more about us either there. If you do have a barn or keep your large animals in a barn somewhere, you can get a hold of me. I do have some information here regarding what we do. I'd be more than happy to come up and develop a plan for you guys for multiple animals. It's what I do. I've been doing it for a long time with the county. And you know, once again, the biggest thing is if you're down in town or you're away from your home and you get that 911 call, do not attempt to come up here because you're going to hinder the efforts of a lot of folks that are trying to make things better for you. It's inconvenient for all of us. I understand. I live up on top Shadow Mountain. But again, let the folks do their work and know that your animals will be safe. If you have any questions, I'll be over here, and more than welcome. I got some brochures, some information on Smart 911, which I'm learning about, and be more than happy to talk to you all about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. You know, I know we're all thinking, gosh, it's snowing tonight. You know, there's not going to be any fires or anything where our animals would be in jeopardy. But, you know, it can happen at any time. It can happen next week. So we all have to be ready at any moment. So just remember that. Next we have Deputy Dale Kleinschmidt, and he's going to be giving a little presentation, I think, about burglaries tonight.
All kinds of stuff. You demoted me.
Oh, sorry.
As far as that goes, yeah, I'm Dale Kleinschmidt. I'm the mountain precinct captain for all of the mountain area of the county. Our county is broken down into 3 areas, the north, south, and the mountains. I get the best precinct there is, 444 square miles of a whole lot of fun to play in. So with that tonight, I want to give you a brief update as far as where the crime stuff go. Before I get into that, Scott's heat program that he was talking about, they are a tremendous partner when we have these wildland fires up here. Couldn't do it without them keeping everybody safe. So with that, mountain precinct, I just said that, didn't I? There we go. This gives you a breakdown of the type of crimes that we deal with. Because we have to report to the feds, they're broken down into Part 1 and Part 2 crimes. Really what that comes down to is how they want to classify things, the seriousness of some of the types of crimes. However, when you're the victim of a crime, it really doesn't matter if it's Part 1 or Part 2, does it? So when you see the Part 1 crime, this is a comparison from October of 18 through October of 19. This is just for that month. And you'll see in 19 we've been doing pretty good. Everything's dropping across the board. Part 2 crimes are more some people like to call these petty type of crimes. You know, when you see the property and the piece one up there, that's people that are shoplifting, doing criminal mischief. Anybody up here ever have a mailbox that turned into a baseball for somebody? You know, it's that type of stuff. Here's a map of what we call our focus crimes. Our focus crimes are the ones that are typically more seen where it really impacts you. Having a burglary, having somebody break into your home or business and steal your property, that's a big deal. That's kind of unnerving for a lot of people. Motor vehicle theft. Anybody had their vehicle stolen up here yet? Almost every vehicle we have stolen up here has got the keys in it. It was unlocked. A lot of times they're running. It's really easy to fix that. Lock your doors, take the keys in the house. And then vehicle trespasses. A lot of people have had their cars broken into. Again, almost every one of our vehicle trespasses up here where things are taken. The most recent one up at the Dees Park. He left his nice computer tablet sitting on the dash and left the windows down and the doors unlocked. It wasn't there when he came back. With those for that month of October, you'll notice that last year we had 16 trespasses up here. This year, or for this month of 19, there was only 1. Vehicle thefts 3, residential burglaries dropped down to 3, and only 1 commercial. Out of those 8 focus crimes, we know who the suspects are in 6 of them. That's because in 4 of the cases, they were family and friends. So be careful who you let into your backyard or take your bedroom, you know, your extra bedroom. It's sad up here. So many of ours, it's friends taking advantage of them. So with that, like I said, out of those 8, 6 we've identified the suspects in already. And everybody likes to talk about traffic because I know how much you love Highway 285. There's never any problems on that. Highway 73, Highway 74, it's always beautiful. Yeah, we had 1 fatal accident last month. That was actually up in, this is for the entire county, by the way. That was up in Clear Creek Canyon where somebody missed a curve and went upside down in the creek. But you'll notice that we have quite a bit of property damage. Injury crashes, fortunately, are not as big. Something that's a little bit closer to give you an idea of how many we deal with up here. This covers the entire county again. But you'll notice over on 285 there, this is an 18. We had 189 crashes, 74, 86, 73, 39. So the reason we track this, and there's a comparison for 2019, is the reason we track that is our traffic unit goes out and quite frankly, they hammer those areas, the ones that we're getting people injured on. But we don't just sit around and do speed traps. We don't have time to do a speed trap. And somebody asked me earlier about our quotas. We don't have a quota. We can ride as many as we want. So, with that, that's just a really quick synopsis for the mountain precinct. Our mountain precinct is actually pretty good. And the reason it's pretty good in terms of the crime is because of our community. People look out for one another up here. You're living up here for a reason. You like your solitude, those type of things. But at the same time, when you see the strange car in your neighbor's driveway, people call us. We don't get that in some areas of our county. We got people that don't even know who their next door neighbor is. So I appreciate everything you guys do for us up here. You really make our job easier. If you need anything, Jeffco.us is the one for the entire county. That'll give you everything from planning and zoning, sheriff's office. Just hit /sheriff and you've got us covered. Thank you.
I really didn't mean to demote Dell here. That was bad. Okay, so next, hopefully some of you will be ringing the bell for the Salvation Army, and Shelley Turkington is going to be talking about that a little bit and to hopefully get some people to sign up. Shelley.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Shelley Turkington. I am the most recent chair for the Conifer extension of Salvation Army. We have been up in the area since, gosh, what is it, Angela? 95. So we actually are from the town of Morrison all the way, we cover all the way to the top of Kenosha Pass. So what happens is we have requests that come in, and it can range from utility bills. We've even helped people fix boilers just so they can have some heat in the winter. What we're trying to do this year is we have a mission is to fill all of our spaces. We are going to be ringing the bell at King Super. We've been doing that for several years. And then we added it's formerly the Loaf and Jug in Conifer. It is now the Conifer King Super convenience store. We'll be ringing there on Saturdays. And that starts the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it goes through the Saturday before Christmas Eve. And the other place that we're going to be ringing as well is Moore Lumber in Pine Junction. And it will be ringing on Saturdays only. Again, the same dates. It will be after the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it goes to the Saturday before Christmas. So what we're wanting to do is do You in 2 hours. You in 2 hours can help so many people in the community. We offer food baskets for Thanksgiving. We work through Mountain Resource to do that. We also have We also do senior lunches. We do 6 senior lunches a year. We feed over 70 seniors each time. We provide entertainment as well as a catered lunch, and that happens over at Aspen Ridge Church. And we, like I said, we help people with their electric bill. We also are part of the Angel Tree, and that's through Mountain Resource. We send kids to camp. We help people, families pay for rent if they are short that month. But really what we're wanting to do is really focus on getting people to sign up to ring the bell. Angela actually has the kettle back in the back that we are accepting donations. You can do donations through a check. We're also doing Google Pay and Apple Pay this year. So if you see a kettle, there will be a what do they call it, a URL?
Square.
Something like that. But you just tap your phone up on it, and it will actually take you where you can make a donation. The other thing that I wanted to say was that we can't leave a kettle out without somebody ringing the bell. And if we don't have the kettle out there, we're not getting donations. Last year we raised over $28,000 to help the community, and 90% of those funds stay in the community. So think about it. You in 2 hours can help so many people, and we're really wanting to go past $28,000, so help us reach that goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Next, Peggy Calvin with RTD is coming up to talk a little bit about what's happening, and I'm sure you haven't heard anything in the news, so she'll give you an update.
Thanks, Shirley. Some of you have heard that we've had an operator shortage, and particularly on our light rail lines, there have been a number of trips that are dropped. And so the RTD staff and board are considering a proposal to temporarily reduce service. And what that looks like, we don't know yet, but I am concerned that if they use their normal service standards, that this area will be at risk for losing what little service it has. One of the things that we found out is that because we're so short of operators, both on light rail and on bus, that our operators are mandated to work six days a week. They don't have a choice. And so this really interferes with their quality of life, their family time. It's resulted in many more sick days and family leave incidences, which exacerbates the problem. And it's just, some of these people have been working 6 days a week for 4 years. So we're really trying to aggressively recruit and hire and train operators for both the light rail and the bus. Now, some of you might ask about the commuter rail, which is the G line and the A line and the soon-to-be open N line. Those are different technologies, so the operators are not interchangeable. We've been fortunate that on those commuter rail lines we haven't had as many drop trips. You know, one of the real concerns we have is safety and reliability, and when an operator is fatigued, then they're more likely to create safety issues, so that's a real concern that we have. We've been conducting public forums for about the last 2 weeks, trying to get public input on whether people would prefer to have less frequent service but more reliable service until we can get this operator shortage taken care of. You know, now I'm here to recruit because some of the, if any of you know people that are looking for work or are interested in working, the beginning salary for a shift for a bus driver or a rail operator is $19.98 an hour, and it goes up to $23.58 an hour. There are many benefits. They have, you get incentive pay for shift if you work split shifts or for the mandated work that I mentioned, and very competitive benefits package, including health, dental, vision, hearing, legal, life and short-term disability, and a very nice pension plan. So bus operators go through a 7-week training course, and light rail operators go through an 11-week training course. And we were fortunate to sign up a training course that began last Monday and had over 50 people that were qualified. One of the challenges that we do have is that because of Colorado's marijuana laws, some people choose not to apply because they can't pass a drug test. So that is an issue. But I did want to mention that if you know anyone who would be interested in the job, if you go on the website, which is rtd-denver.com, and you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a big banner that you can scroll across, and it will get a direct link to the hiring process. And I would like to add that, and I was talking to Joe here about the veterans, and he knows some. We also are short mechanics, and mechanics are, they have an even more generous pay scale, and so that's also an option. And so if you know of anybody, we would greatly appreciate you referring them. One thing I might add is that we compete for the same labor pool that CDOT does for its plow drivers and that heavy equipment operators for construction industry. So, and with 3.2% unemployment, it is very, very hard to try and attract workers. So please get the word out. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. So next, as I think most of you know, after our survey last year, there were 3 things that everybody was really interested and concerned about: wildfire, water, and maintaining our small rural town character. So we started a water committee, and there's a lot of things going with the other things too, but we started a water committee, and John Wallach is going to come up and just give you a little bit of an update about how that's going and what's going on with that.
Good evening, everyone. This is just a brief update on the water committee. The purpose of the committee is to better inform the community of the water supplies here. It's a well-based community. You can't see the water, and so we have to do a little bit of monitoring from some of the websites and some other activities. So we've got the focus last year. We had the seminar last November, and this year the focus for the water committee is to create a groundwater monitor system. There's an overview map of Conifer. The solid line there is the activity center. That has 363 wells, and it has 3 centralized systems: Aspen Park Metro, Conifer Metro District at the Safeway, and then CSA down at Staples. So those are the 3 centralized systems are all monitored, and we keep track of how much water we're consuming in our community. And this is, we're running a little bit over 40,000 gallons per day on average, or 45 acre-feet per year water consumption. And one of our interests is how much of that water is being recharged back into our groundwater system. The CSA does not recharge at all. It got its decree back in the 70s, and it was directed to put their effluent into processed back into the North Turkey Creek. But then the Aspen Park Metro District, this year, its first 11 months of the water year, they've recharged 17%. Conifer Metro District, the last 8 months, they had their meters fixed on their exfiltration galleries. They are now starting to recharge. They've averaged 86% in the last 8 months. If you take all three of the centralized systems together, all the water pumped for the centralized systems, 3/4 of that is being released to surface, approximately. So what the focus is this year, committee, is to create a Conifer monitor network. We can't tell what's going on with our groundwater level unless we start to sample various points throughout the community and get some up-to-date data. Maybe it's stable, maybe it's rising, maybe falling. So we set up some cross-section lines, and in the next couple of months, we're going to be sending out letters requesting for the well owners to participate in a well monitor project. And we'll work with those people and try to also use some of the instruments we've tried out this past summer to get well monitoring without actually using tapes. We're using acoustic sensors. So some of you, if you live close to these cross-section lines, will be receiving letters, and we're going to try to pick strategic points in the community and start to get this going over the next year. So, thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, so next we have Nick, Alicia, and Heather going to be talking about Conifer area development and some other things with Jefferson County Planning and Zoning. Nick, you're first, right?
I'll let Heather get this set up. I think I know a lot of you from a few different development cases that I've had up here, but I'm Nick Nelson. I'm a planner with Jefferson County. So thanks for coming out. One of the things that Planning and Zoning has been tasked with doing for the next year is we're going to be looking at some modifications to our short-term rental regulations. Currently what we require is applicants have to go to the Board of Adjustment, so one of our Planning and Zoning panels, and you have to get approval from that Board of Adjustment to be allowed for a short-term rental. I'll get further into some of those other requirements throughout. Basically, what we have going on right now in the county is we know that we have 10, since this presentation was put together, 2 more were recently approved throughout the entire unincorporated Jefferson County. What we know through some research from some third-party sources that we have over 700 that are operating in the county right now, unpermitted. And then if you include all of the municipalities, it's over 2,000 that are operating within the county. Right now, our requirements are that you have to have at least a 1 acre minimum lot size in order to even apply to go to the Board of Adjustment for approval. One of the things that we're looking at doing is we would eliminate that minimum lot size. We would also allow it to be basically carried out anywhere in any type of residential dwelling. That would multifamily, duplexes, accessory dwelling units. We would basically be taking the reins off. One thing that's we want to make very clear though, is that we would also be creating 2 separate processes for short-term rentals. If it's not your primary residence where you live for perhaps maybe 9-10 months out of the year, you would still go through that normal Board of Adjustment process where you would have that public hearing, your neighbors would be notified, neighbors would have the opportunity to weigh in at those hearings or through our normal commenting process. But if it is where you live primarily, as long as you meet all the other requirements that we have, you would be allowed to just get that as an administrative permit, basically over the counter at our Planning and Zoning office. Another thing that we're looking at, again, one of those third-party sources, we're going to be putting together a request for proposals to have other basically private agencies that would monitor and do the permitting for the county to monitor these short-term rentals. And what that means is, we have 4 full-time zoning inspectors plus our zoning inspector supervisor. And so we would be relying on a third-party agency to be going out, doing those inspections, searching for those unauthorized short-term rentals, and getting them to come into compliance with whatever route they need to go through again, either the administrative process or the Board of Adjustment, a special exception. So, what we're going to be doing in the future, we don't want to start this before the end of the year. The holidays are coming up. You've got enough to worry about. We want you to have all the ample time you need to be able to comment on these things. But pretty soon after the start of the year, we're going to be scheduling basically open houses specifically for short-term rentals. We're going to notify everyone via, basically we have right now a regulation advisory panel. There's maybe 15 or so people that are on that. They're volunteers that have basically dealt with Jeffco regulations over the years and have volunteered their time to provide us with input. We'll be going to them with that. We're also going to be sending this to every single referral agency that we have throughout the county, every HOA in the county, and I have sign-in sheets over there. I apologize, my truck is in the shop. I usually have a box of my cards in my truck, but since I have a rental right now, I don't have them with me. But we do have sign-in sheets. What I really want there is your email address. So as soon as we do go forward with proposed regulation changes, you can email and start commenting on those changes. And then, obviously, just our normal notification processes. You're going to get notified via email. You'll know in the papers everything when we're going to hearing. Obviously, we rely greatly on the Conifer Area Council to keep you all informed, and we'll continue to do that. So that's about it. I'm going to be over here. So, obviously, hand over to Heather.
Thanks. I am back to talk about the comprehensive master plan and the water policies that we're looking at updating. Last time I was here, I let you know that we did take feedback from the community, and we do want to look at our water policies, make sure they're up to date. We have four main focus areas that we're going to be looking at. Our main one, our big one, is water conservation. We've really identified some gaps there, and we'd like to add some policies to our comprehensive master plan to talk more about water conservation. We also want to update our daily water usage charts and also figure out a good education program. We have some great policies about outreach and education right now, but we need to implement those. The last one, review of land use recommendations, I think we're probably going to, I talked about it last time, but I think we're probably going to push that off with our next project, which is our mixed use policies, where we're going to look at our activity centers, and it seems like a good segue into that. What I really wanted to let you know about is that we have scheduled some community meetings to talk about this. We have 3 scheduled. The first one coming up is Thursday, December 5th. These are coming up fairly quick. There will be emails going out tomorrow for everybody that has signed up for Notify Me about regulation or plan updates. The Thursday, December 5th will be in Conifer at Our Lady of the Pines Church from 6 to 8 p.m. Now, if you don't want to come during the evening, it gets dark awfully early, we do have a meeting scheduled for Saturday, December 7th from 10 to 12 in the morning, and that's down at the Jeffco building. You can join us there. And then another one on Tuesday, December 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. up in Evergreen at the Buchanan Park Recreation Center. I'm going to now hand it over to Alicia to talk more about the development cases.
Hello, I'm Alicia. I'm one of our 14 fabulous planners on staff. You might have worked with me on a building permit or a shed permit or finding out about a development case. I'm here to talk a bit about development going on in the area and hopefully to clarify some of the processes around development. So we've got 28 cases to present to you guys today. I'm going to breeze through them pretty quickly. You'll also find them in the packet that you've got right here. You can find them numbered here, and the numbers on the slides correspond with those cases in the packet. You can always come talk to us if you've got specific concerns about one of those development cases as well. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about pre-applications first. This is when a developer or property owner is interested in potentially developing or doing some change related to development on their property in the future. They come in with very preliminary plans about what they maybe like to do, and they get comments back about, does it align with the comprehensive master plan? Are there large issues they'd be facing? And what processes would they need to go through to pursue that development? You'll see in the packet that most of those cases are closed. That means that those meetings have happened and they got those comments back. There are no official communications. We don't post signs. We don't send out emails for those cases. You frequently see those cases before the developer might apply for a formal rezoning or a community meeting or things like that. So they're a good precursor to development, but about half of them don't move forward. So let's talk about a couple of pre-applications. We've got one here on 27838 Richmond Hill Road. This was a property owner who's interested in running a woodcutting business off of the residential property there. The comprehensive plan recommended against this, but they haven't come in for a formal application. So again, the meeting happened. We don't know if they might come in for a formal application later. Another pre-application, this one's just around the corner here by the big R. This would be a site development plan for an auto parts store. So they came in, it's already an allowed use under the zoning that's in place there, so they'd be looking at a site development plan process. And I'll get to that a little bit more later. But that means that maybe a developer is interested in putting this in here in the near future. There's another one, I believe we've talked about this at a previous meeting here. This is a pre-application just behind the Safeway here. It would allow quite a few units here behind the Safeway, residential units. Right now there are some things about it that we found conformed with the comprehensive plan and some things that we found weren't in conformance with the plans. If you have questions about this one, you can come to our table after. Next up, a community meeting. A community meeting is a precursor to a rezoning case. So we require a developer to hold a community meeting before they can apply for a rezoning case. We had one just yesterday here. This one was to allow for commercial, light industrial, and storage uses there. So some of you may have been there. If you have more comments or questions about that community meeting, definitely stop by our table and we can put you in touch with the case manager about that. Rezoning. So these are the formal applications to change the uses on a property. So we see an application come in and our staff is tasked with pushing it through the process and eventually getting it to the Planning Commission or the Board of County Commissioners who ultimately decide whether to approve or deny the rezoning case. So an example of this might be changing an allowed use from a commercial use to a residential use or vice versa. So we have a couple of rezoning cases that are going on currently. This one at Micomine Gulch, this is a family interest community, I believe. They're applying to allow for more rental units and more RV units on site. There's another rezoning underway that would, if approved, allow for a larger church facility than what's allowed under the current zoning. So these are just a couple rezonings underway. This is another case that we had. It was going to allow for commercial. It was withdrawn. Subdivision plat. So this is the process by which land is officially subdivided. So this also goes to the Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioners for approval before that land is officially subdivided. But typically we're looking to make sure that they conform with all of our land development regulations. So are they setting aside necessary drainage easements, roadways, is it meeting widths for things like that. There are a couple of subdivision plats underway or have been approved recently. There's one that would create 21 2-acre residential lots at Settlers and Homesteader. That was approved by the Board of County Commissioners recently. There's another one here on Hillview to create 2 5-acre residential lots and 1 30-acre residential lot. So splitting up that larger existing residential lot. And finally, I'm going to try and squeeze this in here before my time's up. I've got site development plans here. This is a process by which commercial, industrial, and institutional developments occur. So after they get the rezoning to allow that use, this is where we would review architecture, we would review site plans, lighting, all of parking, all of that good stuff that's required by the zoning. So we want to make sure it's all in conformance with what's allowed. I don't believe we have any slides about those site development plan cases, but there are 4 listed in your packet there. So again, if you have questions about any of these developments, any in the packet here, anything you see going on in your neighborhood that you're wondering about, please follow up with us at our table. You can also sign up for that short-term rental email list over at our table. Thanks.
Thanks, Alicia. There's a lot going on still, always. So we want the community to be involved. That's why we, put these in your packet and we have them come to talk about all the things that are going on. Okay, next. Well, actually, before we go on, I wanted to just let you know that Open Space was going to be here at this meeting to talk about both Beaver Ranch and Meyer Ranch. and they were not quite ready to do that yet. So they will be here at the February meeting to talk about both of those open space parks. So next we have Joe Stedman, who is the Mountain Resource Center Veterans Advocate, to celebrate our veterans. Joe.
Hi, thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm truly honored to be here. Do we have any veterans here tonight? Could you please stand? Please for it, please stand. Thank you for your service. You know, we just celebrated Veterans Day, and this month is really dedicated to veterans. So we appreciate your service and all that you do. I'm honored to be a veterans advocate at the Mountain Resource Center. It's the military is a family business for me. My dad was a Marine, a combat Marine in Vietnam. I flew on the AWACS in Oklahoma City as an airborne radar tech, so I got to serve with the air crew out of Oklahoma City. My daughter has recently gone Air Force. She is an F-15 crew chief, and my son is a Marine in Okinawa. And he works on the B-22 Ospreys. It's the helicopter that turns into an airplane. So we're a proud veteran family and honored to do this job. My veterans are special to me, and we provide a wonderful service to the community. So it's a truly unique position that we offer. We at the Mountain Resource Center, we try and offer a better quality of life for all of our clients. We have many integrated services between the food bank. We have the family resource centers. We provide utility assistance, housing assistance, employment assistance, and that's really where we focus a lot of our energies as a veterans advocate, is our transition assistance to our veterans after they come back. Veterans have a unique way of life when they serve their country. They're many times torn away from their home, isolated from their families, unable to do college.